स्वागत करते हैं जी एक बार फिर आप सब ਦਾ ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਸੈਗਮੈਂਟ ਵਿੱਚ। ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਇਸ ਹੈਲਥ ਸੈਗਮੈਂਟ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੇਰਾ ਸਾਥ ਦੇਣਗੇ ਐਂਟੋਨੀਨਾ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਸਰਟੀਫਾਈਡ ਨਿਊਟ੍ਰੀਸ਼ਨਲ ਪ੍ਰੈਕਟੀਸ਼ਨਰ ਨੇ। ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਚੱਲੇਗੀ ਕਿ ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਇਸ ਤੇਜ਼ ਰਫ਼ਤਾਰ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਬੜੀ ਛੇਤੀ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਭੁੱਲ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਨਾ ਤਾਂ ਭੁੱਲਦੇ ਹੀ ਹਾਂ, ਪਰ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਇਲਾਵਾ ਹੁਣ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਦਿਮਾਗ ਦਾ ਇਸਤੇਮਾਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ, ਬਲਕਿ ਮਸ਼ੀਨਾਂ ਰਾਹੀਂ ਹੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਵਰਤੋਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਉਸ ਕਾਰਨ ਮੈਂਟਲ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸਾਡੀ ਕੈਪੇਬਿਲਿਟੀ ਉਹ ਡਿਪਲੀਟ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ। ਕਿਵੇਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਬ੍ਰੇਨ ਪਾਵਰ ਨੂੰ ਬੂਸਟ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ, ਆਓ ਇਸ ਬਾਰੇ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਐਂਟੋਨੀਨਾ ਨਾਲ। Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Thank you. I was just saying in my introduction that though we have everything today in our life, but machines are ruling us. Our brain is not functioning at that level where our elders used to use that. They used to remember the names, the phone numbers and everything. But today you are forgetting everything. So there is of course advantage of using these machines, but the negative part is that the brain is probably not functioning at that level where it should function. So how to boost our brain power, what needs to be done, and what are the challenges what people are facing?
Yeah, very good observation. We do have a lot of issues in our society. I think most of it comes from information overload.
Right.
We do have computers and system around us. We do have a lot of information that is coming our way, and there's a lot of times not enough processing power in our own brain to manage with that, overstimulation that we have in the society. So television, radios, news, everywhere we go. And also, of course, there's lots of stress. Every time we are under stress, we can consume 4 times more nutrients.
Right.
And going back to our diet, we have a very depleted lifestyle. We have a lot of processed food, nutrient depleted and deficient foods. So a lot of us are eating insufficient diet and under a lot of stress. So we are consuming less nutrients that feed the brain, and then we spend a lot more than our ancestors used to spend, that our grandparents and and parents used to use. So yes, they did have more attention span. They could remember the telephones, they could remember the names, they could remember the stories, and they were just a lot calmer overall because they didn't have so much stress going around them. So one of the best ways to boost your brain power is definitely drink a lot of water, high quality water, and eat a lot of healthy foods.
Okay.
So foods
when you
that
talk
are not
about
processed.
healthy food as such, let's focus on the diet. You as being a certified nutritional planner, tell us, when we talk about diet as such, which are those things which can help our brain?
So a lot of raw organic foods that are non-processed. We have a lot of vitamins, minerals, phytonutrients, and amino acids that will help feed the brain, because our brain and neurons, all of our connective tissue, actually all of our tissues in the brain, all the neurons and all of the connections that are making up in all of the proper communication between the cells, they all require all of those vitamins, minerals, and phytonutrients and amino acids. So if we're not giving our body enough of the foods that have them, we're not feeding the brain. Brain consumes, I think we talked in one of our shows talking about brain being a nutrient hog. It's only 3% body weight, but it consumes 40% of all the nutrition. So if we lack an intake of the nutrition, the brain will suffer. So one of the first things to do is to eliminate things and foods that are compromising our brain function and cause a lot of inflammation. Inflammatory foods are sugars. Inflammatory foods that are processed, highly toxic, artificial sweeteners and colorings. And of course, a lot of processed foods are void of nutrients. So you first want to stop eating processed foods. Stop consuming a lot of inflammatory foods, and that does include wheat and dairy. And then definitely eat a lot of nutrient-dense, vitamin, mineral, phytonutrient-rich foods, greens, vegetable, whole foods, preferably organic, without all the synthetic chemicals on them. So when you consume foods that are rich in nutrients, you're feeding the brain.
You talked about dairy and wheat specifically, because that is a major component of our lifestyle, and especially in the South Asian culture and the Indo-Canadian culture, and then the Punjabi culture, we focus more on dairy and wheat. Why is dairy not good for us?
Well, the dairy that you grew up with is not the dairy that is you find today. You know that when you were back in India, wherever you came from, when you had dairy, it would only last for a couple of days. And it was usually coming from a cow that was pastured in the wild, and then you collect that milk, and it's and you use it, and then you ferment it and use making all the other fermented products. Today, dairy will stay in your fridge for 3 weeks, and nothing will happen to it. The reason is bacteria doesn't want to eat it. There is absolutely no valuable mineral elements that are left in it is fully pasteurized.
Right.
So it's heat processed and it doesn't have nutrients left in it. The cows are also not treated the same way
Right.
you used to treat cows back home. They're not eating green grass and bathing under sun.
Right.
They're not respected in the way that they used to
should
be.
be, right.
So today the cows are sick, full of drugs, hormones, antibiotics, and they eat food that they should never be eating.
And that's what is carrying on into your body.
And then, of course, that's what you're eating. If the cow is sick, guess what kind of secretions the cow will produce?
Right.
It will produce sick secretions. Then we disinfect them, pasteurize them, but we kill all the nutrients and phytonutrients and vitamins and minerals. We
Right.
denature everything, and then we're trying to consume that for health. We cannot get health from something that hasn't been healthy.
So that should be minimized, and organic milk should be used.
Organic milk, less is more.
Right.
And then, of course, because a lot of times when people are allergic to wheat and grain of any kinds and different, like glutens, they will be most likely allergic to dairy, or vice
Right.
versa. If they're allergic to dairy, they will be most likely allergic to wheat and gluten proteins. And there are thousands of gluten proteins. There are
Right.
thousands of varieties, and our mainstream medicine only understands a few. So one of the best ways to just make sure that your body doesn't react to them is eliminate them for a couple of weeks.
Okay.
Just take them out of your diet. Go on hemp milk, almond milk, kind of walnut milk. Take out coconut milk. Take alternative for a couple of weeks. Instead of bread, maybe have things that are made out of buckwheat bread and chia bread and amaranth bread and quinoa bread. Try to do that. That's a little bit more higher quality
Right.
grains, and see, or maybe eliminate bread if you can, especially in the summertime. There's so many other incredible foods.
Right.
See if you can find out the alternatives. Eat less of the dairy and wheat,
Right.
and then see how you're feeling. And if you're feeling fantastic, eliminating that. If you feel lighter, if you feel you have a better brain power, if you feel you have less inflammation in the body overall, then stick to that. Or
Right.
add them carefully, or maybe eat less. But there are ways in where you can play with it.
Of course, balance has to be brought.
Yeah.
So what are the other substitutes? Like from the food what we are eating, we're not getting that nutrition for our brain.
Yeah.
What about supplements? Now again, in the market has been flooded with supplements, and how to make sure that what you're getting actually is good, because many times we hear that it's better to buy something which is in liquid rather than the
Yeah.
tablet form. So we'll ask about this after this short break.
Great.
ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ। ਸੋ ਹੁਣ ਤੱਕ ਜੋ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਹੋਈ ਕਿ ਐਂਟੋਨੀਨਾ ਦਾ ਇਹੀ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਇਨਫਲੇਮੇਟਰੀ ਫੂਡਸ ਅਸੀਂ ਖਾਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਉਸ ਕਾਰਨ ਬ੍ਰੇਨ ਨੂੰ ਪੂਰੇ ਨਿਊਟ੍ਰੀਐਂਟਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਿਲ ਰਹੇ, ਜਿਸ ਕਾਰਨ ਸਾਡੀ ਯਾਦਦਾਸ਼ਤ ਜੋ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਘਟਦੀ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ। ਵੀਟ ਅਤੇ ਡੇਅਰੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਖਾਸ ਤੌਰ ਉੱਤੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਜ਼ਿਕਰ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਹੈ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਦੁੱਧ ਪੀਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਜੋ ਵੀਟ ਖਾਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਤਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਇਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਚੇਂਜਸ ਲਿਆਓ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਉਹ ਦੁੱਧ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਮਾਰਕੀਟ 'ਚੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਉਹ ਪੁਰਾਣੇ ਸਮੇਂ ਵਰਗਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ। ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਐਂਟੀਬਾਇਓਟਿਕਸ ਗਾਵਾਂ ਮੱਝਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਦਿੱਤੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨੇ, ਜਿਸ ਕਾਰਨ ਉਹੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਸਰੀਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮਸ ਕ੍ਰੀਏਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਇਸ ਦੇ ਬਜਾਏ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਐਲਮੰਡ ਮਿਲਕ ਲੈ ਲਓ ਜਾਂ ਹੈਂਪ ਮਿਲਕ ਲੈ ਲਓ ਜਾਂ ਕੋਕੋਨਟ ਮਿਲਕ ਲੈ ਲਓ, ਅਤੇ ਡੇਅਰੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਖਾਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਬ੍ਰੈਡ ਦੀ ਬਜਾਏ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਹੋਰ ਕੁਇਨੋਆ ਲੈ ਲਓ ਜਾਂ ਚੀਆ ਸੀਡਸ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਬ੍ਰੈਡ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਲੈ ਲਓ, ਉਸ ਨਾਲ ਥੋੜ੍ਹਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਚੇਂਜ ਆਏਗਾ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਦਿਮਾਗ ਨੂੰ ਚਾਹੀਦੇ ਨੇ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਨਿਊਟ੍ਰੀਐਂਟਸ, ਅਤੇ ਜੇਕਰ ਉਸਨੂੰ ਸਹੀ ਮਾਤਰਾ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹ ਨਿਊਟ੍ਰੀਐਂਟਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਿਲਣਗੇ ਤਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਯਾਦਦਾਸ਼ਤ ਜੋ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਯਕੀਨਨ ਤੌਰ 'ਤੇ ਵਧੇਗੀ ਹੀ, ਉਹ ਘਟੇਗੀ ਹੀ। ਲੈਣੇ ਇੱਕ ਛੋਟੀ ਜਿਹੀ ਬ੍ਰੇਕ 'ਚ ਵਾਪਸ ਆ ਕੇ ਹੋਰ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਲੈਣੇ ਐਂਟੋਨੀਨਾ ਤੋਂ ਕਿ ਕੀ ਕੁਝ ਹੋਰ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਹੈ, ਕਿਵੇਂ ਸਪਲੀਮੈਂਟਸ ਖਾਸ ਤੌਰ 'ਤੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਮਦਦ ਦੇ ਸਕਦੇ। ਹਰ ਕਿਸਮ ਦੇ ਬਿਲਡਿੰਗ ਮਟੀਰੀਅਲ ਲਈ ਕੈਨੈਕਸ ਬਿਲਡਿੰਗ ਸਪਲਾਈਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਯਾਦ ਰੱਖੋ। ਔਨ ਟਾਈਮ ਡਿਲੀਵਰੀ, ਕੰਪੀਟੀਟਿਵ ਕੀਮਤਾਂ ਤੇ ਐਕਸਪਰਟ ਇਨਵੈਂਟਰੀ ਕੰਟਰੋਲ ਲਈ ਇਹ ਮਸ਼ਹੂਰ ਹਨ। ਘਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਬਣਾਉਣ ਲਈ ਲੰਬਰ, ਸਟੱਡਸ, ਹਾਰਡਵੇਅਰ, ਡੈਕਸ, ਰੇਲਿੰਗਸ, ਡੋਰਸ, ਵਿੰਡੋਜ਼, ਮੇਸਨਰੀ ਆਦਿ ਸਭ ਕੁਝ ਵਾਜਬ ਕੀਮਤਾਂ ਤੇ ਉਪਲਬਧ ਹੈ। ਬਰੂਸ ਕੀਲਰ ਜੋ ਭਾਈਚਾਰੇ ਦੇ ਚੰਗੇ ਕੰਮਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਹੀ ਅੱਗੇ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਹਨ, ਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰ ਅਜ਼ਮਾ ਕੇ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਵੇਖੋ। 604 858 1840 kenexbuilding.com। ਐਂਟੋਨੀਨਾ ਇੱਕ ਸਰਟੀਫਾਈਡ ਨਿਊਟ੍ਰੀਸ਼ਨਲ ਪ੍ਰੈਕਟੀਸ਼ਨਰ ਨੇ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਅਤੇ ਦੱਸ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਬ੍ਰੇਨ ਦੀ ਪਾਵਰ ਨੂੰ ਬੂਸਟ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਕੀ ਕੁਝ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਹੈ। ਸਪਲੀਮੈਂਟਸ ਬਾਰੇ ਬ੍ਰੇਕ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਗੱਲ ਚੱਲ ਰਹੀ ਸੀ, ਆਓ ਕੁਝ ਹੋਰ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਲੈਂਦੇ। So before the break we were talking about the supplements. There's so much in the market, you don't come to know what to take. How can the supplements help us increase our brain power?
A great question, because yes, our food is depleted and we have so much more stress on ourselves, so food is not enough sometimes. I do use supplements in practice, and many practitioners in natural health food industry as well as allopathic medicine do use and prescribe supplementation to the clients. some of the really good supplements are the ones that are properly derived, that don't have synthetic chemicals, additives, that are properly chelated and micronized. One of the best ones that I know of for brain function is the Empower Plus that I use in my practice.
Right.
A lot for depression, anxiety, just mood stabilizing, and it can be found in all of the stores, and majority of the natural health food stores.
Right.
And so what the person has to think about, again, highest quality food first,
Right.
treating their gut health really well, because this is where all the synthesis happens to
Right.
feed the brain, and your gut health reflect on the brain health. So making sure your digestive system is healthy, and then providing the highest quality nutrients to boost your mental health activity.
Right, and that is one thing, but the other aspect is, people are also suffering from stress, depression, and that is the mental side now.
Yeah.
Well, of course, the food will help you in some way to increase your brain power, but what about the other aspect, how to, come out of that stress and depression in this fast changing life? Everybody is so much tense, so it creates problems.
So yeah, first of all, remember we talked about it on the very first episode we did together, and that was about understanding the life-work balance.
Right.
Understanding, first of all, eliminate toxic relationships in your life. Then make sure that you are addressing work-life balance better and managing stress better.
Right.
You can manage stress better if you find things like outlets that help you balance your, overall hormones and your overall mood, and take time to exercise.
Right.
Take time to rest, to meditate, to pray, to attend functions. In your culture, I know there's lots of wonderful religious, cultural activities
Right.
that are very, very healing and very good for someone's soul and someone's mind. When you do that and you balance that with your day-to-day life and work,
Right.
You'll do much better.
So again, when we talk about supplements, and there are so much, as you talked about this particular product and which helps you out, question is like these supplements again in the tablet form or liquid form. Again, there is a lot of debate on this.
Yeah.
Could you just talk about this?
Good question, because it depends on the type of the supplement we're talking
Right.
about. So if we're talking about a particular vitamin, and we're talking about a blend, or we're talking about mineral vitamin complex, if this vitamin minerals, like this formula I think is the best, and it's powder form that is put in the pills.
Right.
Like vitamin D, for example, I do love in the liquid form with good quality fat, because it's a fat soluble vitamin.
Right.
Vitamin D is fantastic for the brain and mood, so make sure that you get healthy dose of sunshine when you can, especially in the summertime, hopefully throughout the year, and you get a vacation, which is perfect for mood balancing and stress relief. And so, other vitamin C's, depending if it's acerola cherry vitamin C, which is a whole food vitamin C, that would be a powder. If you
Right.
take your lipospheric, liposomal form, that would be a liquid gel.
Right.
So it really depends on the form of the supplement,
Okay.
and each one would have its own benefits.
Okay, and great. Finally, when we talk about a balanced lifestyle, you deal with a lot of patients all over the world. Things are changing at a fast pace. The drugs what we are having, which are recommended, the allopathic medicines which we have, do they also, can be helped by supplements? Can supplements overtake that negative reactions which the drugs have on us?
A lot of the times I do use supplements in helping counteract the deficiencies
Right.
that are caused by allopathic medicine and by drugs, or the problems that are caused by that. Because as we know, a lot of a lot of drugs have a lot of side effects.
Right.
So the side effects can be mitigated
Okay.
by nutritional supplements.
It was a pleasure talking to you as always. Thank you for your time.
My pleasure.
Thank you. ਸੋ ਜੋ ਐਂਟੋਨੀਨਾ ਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਿ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਸਪਲੀਮੈਂਟਸ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਮਾਰਕੀਟ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਵੇਲੇਬਲ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ, ਪਰ ਖਾਸ ਤੌਰ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਜਦੋਂ ਸਪਲੀਮੈਂਟਸ ਅਸੀਂ ਲੈ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਬੈਨੀਫਿਟ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ, ਸਾਡੀ ਬ੍ਰੇਨ ਪਾਵਰ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਉਹ ਬੂਸਟ ਹੁੰਦੀ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨਿਊਟ੍ਰੀਐਂਟ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਾਡੇ ਖਾਣੇ 'ਚੋਂ ਮਿਲਣੇ ਚਾਹੀਦੇ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਿਲ ਰਹੇ। ਖਾਣ ਪਾਣ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਰਿਵਰਤਨ ਲਿਆਉਣਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਹੈ, ਪ੍ਰੋਸੈਸ ਫੂਡਸ ਦੀ ਸਮਾਪਤੀ ਕਰਨੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਹੈ। ਦੂਸਰੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਮਾਨਸਿਕ ਤੌਰ ਤੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਠੀਕ ਰੱਖਣਾ ਵੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਹੈ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਟੌਕਸਿਕ ਰਿਲੇਸ਼ਨਸ਼ਿਪਸ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਇਹ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਇੰਪੈਕਟ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਾਡੇ ਬ੍ਰੇਨ 'ਤੇ ਪਾਉਂਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ। ਇਸ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਹੱਸਣਾ ਖੇਡਣਾ, ਸਪਿਰਿਚੁਅਲ ਜਿਸ ਵੀ ਧਰਮ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਵਿਸ਼ਵਾਸ ਹੈ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਸਥਾ ਰੱਖ ਕੇ ਉਹ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੇ ਜੀਵਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪ੍ਰੈਕਟਿਸ ਕਰਨਾ ਉਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਹੈ। ਸਪਲੀਮੈਂਟਸ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਟੈਬਲੇਟ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਮਿਲਦੇ ਨੇ, ਲਿਕੁਇਡ ਫਾਰਮ 'ਚ ਵੀ ਮਿਲਦੇ ਨੇ, ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਹਰ ਇੱਕ ਚੀਜ਼ ਦਾ ਵੱਖਰਾ ਵੱਖਰਾ ਬੈਨੀਫਿਟ ਹੈ, ਕਿਸ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਲੈ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਉੱਤੇ ਡਿਪੈਂਡ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ।